you.
All right, plastic surgery is not just for the stars and millionaires anymore. It is now becoming very accessible.
But a local plastic surgeon is saying some procedures are not for everyone. In fact, there are several things people should consider before going under the knife. Plastic surgeon and wellness entrepreneur Dr. Shah is here with us to talk about his new book. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so Making the Cut, 10 things you should consider before having plastic surgery. 10 things, that's a lot.
There's a lot of things you should consider.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Okay, so did you write this book thinking that people go in haphazardly to have surgery, and that's not always a good idea, huh?
That's exactly why I wrote it. What I see a lot in my practice, I probably see about 20, 30 people every single week that want to do plastic surgery, but they haven't thought through all the reasons. You know, you see plastic surgery all the times on TV now. It's a commercial break and the surgery is done, another commercial break and they're super happy. And that's not reality. There's a lot of thought process that needs to go into it beforehand in preparation for it.
So I guess what you're saying, you talk about maybe some of the psychological effects that come with it. You're obviously going to be dealing with pain, but
Right.
Does it affect the psyche a lot?
Hugely. I mean, it affects the psyche as much as it affects your body. So you have to take that into consideration that, you know, there's going to be a post-operative period where your body goes through changes and you get depressed sometimes and you feel a little bit crazy and weird. And if you're not prepared for that, if you don't know about it, you get really, really depressed and anxious, and it leads to just a bad spiral.
In your book, it looks like you discuss a lot of things, not just facial procedures. A lot of people think that, or breast augmentation, but you talk about liposuction, tummy tucks, lasers and injectables, and also the hair restoration. There are a lot of types of surgeries out there. What's the most popular right now?
Right now, what they say, breast augmentation and liposuction are the most popular, and those two are the ones that people kind of come in, they think they can get it done and go back to work the next day, but those are the two that you really need a lot of preparation for, psychologically especially.
It's so often that we hear about procedures being less invasive, at least when it comes to orthoscopic or something like that.
Right.
In terms of going under the knife and getting plastic surgery, is it less invasive now?
It is. You know, it's a lot better now. We have much better techniques. There's less invasive techniques, but it's still surgery. You're still under anesthesia. You still have to be put to sleep for most procedures. And, you know, surgeries all have the same amount of complications that can occur with them. And so you have to be really careful, even though they are less invasive now.
What are a couple of the mistakes that people make, do you feel like top two, possibly?
I would say the top two things is, number one, not making sure they're healthy enough to undergo surgery before they do it. So you really should be seen by your primary care doctor. You should get an evaluation done and make sure you're super healthy before you do it. And number two, I would say, is really talking to their friends, their family about, you know, that they're going to undergo this. I think a lot of people do this in private, and I agree, it should be a private thing, but the people closest to you should know so that they can support you afterwards, because you will be going through a lot physically and mentally in your recovery.
Talk to us about the book, Making the Cut. We could hold it up for the camera right
sure.
there.
Where is this available?
It's available everywhere books are sold. Amazon, Barnes & Noble,
Okay.
on my website. You can get it there as well. And I wrote the book really because I've been doing this now for 12, 14 years, and I have the same conversations again and again with people.
Yeah.
And I find that the conversations mainly hit 10 categories. So I did 10 chapters, one in each
Right.
category conversation you need to think about. And there's a little test at the end of every chapter so that if you pass that test, you know that most likely you'll be okay in that category. So I try to make it as simple as possible. People can read it like in a couple of days before they're choosing to do their procedure.
Right.
And then for each individual procedure, there's information about that as well.
Awesome. Well, thank you for doing that. Making the Cut,
Thanks, Doc.
Dr. Darshan Shah. We really appreciate it. We hope to see you here again soon on our set.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care.
All right, still ahead this afternoon, Chipotle back in the headlines.